situation, as you might imagine, is very serious. The workshops area of our compound, the big transport hub, and our warehouse are on fire. I believe you can see those images on your TV. We also have 700 people in another area of the compound who fled into the compound this morning for refuge, and 2 of them were injured, as was a staff member. So we're endeavouring to evacuate them to a safer place. So that's essentially what we're trying to do now: get the fire under control. Very difficult because, of course, the fire services here in Gaza can't move, and also get the about 700 people who are here in another part of the compound to safety.
I guess you can't even try to start putting the fire out as long as there's fighting still going on around you. What is the state of play regarding the fighting?
Well, look, there's no fighting in the vicinity of the compound. I mean, these were artillery shells that were fired into the compound, and phosphorus shells into the area of our warehouse and workshop. A big problem for us, of course, is that we also have a massive fuel depot there. This is the hub of the entire aid operation here in Gaza at the moment. This is where it all happens from. Fuel, food, medicine, everything. It's all here, as well as, of course, our staff. We had 5 big tankers of fuel loaded and ready to move this morning. We've just now safely extracted those from the vicinity of the fire. That was a massive concern for us. It's a really very dangerous situation.
John, there's several points I want to pick up on that you've just made there. One of them is the quite explicit claim you've just made that phosphorus shells were fired into the building. That, I'm sure you are aware, is a very serious accusation because the use of such a chemical in build-up areas is illegal under international law. So are you sure that they were phosphorus shells?
Well, that's what my international staff, who were actually in the vicinity at the time when they landed, were dealing with phosphorus. We're dealing with phosphorus fires, then that I'll present that as the evidence to back up my charge. Let's have a full investigation in the fullness of time and establish exactly what it is or isn't in terms of violations of law. But the fact of the matter is we have phosphorus fires now, which are of course extremely difficult to deal with, because if you put water on this, it becomes toxic. It doesn't put it out, and it actually compounds the problem. That's what we're dealing with at the moment: phosphorus fires in our warehouse, in our workshops. And as I say, the firing of those was witnessed by international staff on the ground at the time, who are extremely lucky not to have been injured when they were fired.
Now, what is actually in the warehouse? What's burning? I imagine it's some of your supplies. And what impact will that have on the Palestinians in Gaza?
Thousands of tons of food aid, medical supplies, other non-food items like blankets, mattresses, for all the shelters. I mean, this is the hub of our operation. This is where it all is run from. It's the central depot for everything. It's well and truly known by everybody. The GPS references provided to the Israeli side. We have been repeatedly, hour by hour this morning, telling them of the firing closest, the shrapnel landing in our compounds, the dangers that involved, appealing to them to stop firing in the vicinity of our compound. But yes, this is what has happened. A direct hit on an area which caused injury, and 3 direct hit with resulting in phosphorus fires. Let me put it that way, in our warehouse and in our garage.
John, have you just been unfortunate enough to have been caught up in the crossfire, or do you blame one side over the other here?
Well, crossfire of what? The only side that has artillery and tanks are the Israeli side. That's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with those type of rounds. There's no Israeli military deployed in the vicinity of this compound. So again, there's no crossfire between Israeli and militants on the ground here. What we've had all night and into this morning is a relentless bombardment of this area by artillery fire, which is coming from kilometers away, and tank fire, which is coming from kilometers away from here. But they've been coming in firing into this area. The rounds have been landing in this, which is a very densely populated part of the Gaza city. We're here now in the heart of Gaza City.
John, you've mentioned that your staff were extremely lucky to get away from this situation. Of course, it remains to be seen what's going to happen to your hardware and your stockpiles. Is an event like this going to make you think long and hard about how you conduct your operations within Gaza and whether indeed it's even safe enough for you to be there?
Look, it's not safe for anybody in Gaza. That's the bottom line. That's what we've been saying continuously for the last 20 days. That's why both sides need to respect the UN resolution and stop fighting.